All right, everyone. Welcome back to Nortman Reviews. I'm John, your host with the most toast that is going. I fucked it up. So we got Daredevil. We're back with Daredevil and the Echo storyline, and her name is Maya. God, I couldn't remember that the first time I did the first part for some reason. I knew what it was, but I couldn't find it in the storyline, and driving me nuts. But it's her name. It's goddamn Maya. Sons of bitches. So, we did parts 1, 2, and 3, or whatever, and we're going to get on with the next. We're going to finish it up here. I did this because the Echo TV series was coming out. I've still yet to watch it. I just haven't had an opportunity to really sit down and watch it because my wife wants to see it with me. And we're watching Supernatural right now, which is fun, and that's what she wants to watch. But in the first 3 parts, Echo came onto the scene, Maya, and she has a unique ability. Even though she's deaf, she can mimic anything with her sight. So she can, play the piano perfectly just from watching someone else do it. She can reproduce everything. She can watch boxing matches and fights and stuff like that and mimic those moves and become a badass fighter. And she was made to believe that Daredevil had killed her father, when in actuality it was fucking Kingpin all along, to no one's surprise. So, in the last few issues, you establish her with some amazing art from Joe Quesada and David Mack as being the writer, some crazy outlines, layouts, and just different kind of comic book art than you usually see. But Maya and Matt have also met in their regular personas, their civilian identities or whatever, and had a little romance blossoming, and they made out, and he was really into her. Even though, like, I try to warn you, Matt, like Elektra, like Typhoid Mary, stop thinking with your dick and run away. But anyways, he thought with his dick, and his dick thought wrong. So, there's some other stuff going on in the storyline with them trying to indict, or whatever the word is, Kingpin, get him taken away. So, yeah, that's basically what happened. So we left off. Maya and Matt were fighting. She's mimicking Bullseye stuff. She's mimicking videos she's seen of Daredevil. So he's having a hard time, especially since he's not trying to hurt her, because he loves her. But at the end, she got the better of him, and she has this gun that she thought that Daredevil used to kill her dad, and is going to shoot him, right? So, let's pick off. Pick off? Pick up where we left off. Jesus Christ. Cool cover by David Mack. It says Quesada and Palamati, but I thought David Mack did all the covers. Whatever. Like, this is all like cool shit back here. Just this little borders, kind of gives a rundown of what Daredevil is and what he's done. There he is in his yellow outfits, but he's got a gun to his head here, right? But then there are people off panel, and they're like, "Oh, that was great. That was awesome." They think it's like a production, and these guys are clapping, and she feels the vibrations of their clapping, and I like the interpretation they put of how she sees these things. It's like this little kid drawing, and that's it's in a thought bubble, so that's how she kind of perceives things. Because I don't know, it's just cool. So she's like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "We're just watching. That was cool." And she just doesn't want to kill him in front of people, especially children. These are younger people. So she fucks off back here. And like, there you see her crying in that little style. And they're like, "That last move was right out of a Jackie Chan movie." And Daredevil like, "What?" "Rumble in the Bronx." Or like, "It was Drunken Master 2. It's like, movies? They're like, "Yeah, that's..." I don't know how they'd be able to recognize something like that, but they do. So, Matt, he's healing up. I love this art, with just like, you don't always need to establish a background. Like, he's in a room with a window and it's dark. So that's kind of cool. And he's talking with Foggy here, and they were supposed to be taking on the Kingpin, because someone had come forward with a bunch of dirt on the Kingpin, so they're taking him to court. But Daredevil's like, I'm fucked up. Like, I cannot be there. You got everything. Like, I'll be a liability. But then they're also talking about, do you know who's representing Kingpin or Fisk? And it's actually Foggy's mom, which is going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. So, I don't know, some Daily Bugle stuff talking about the Kingpin, but here, this is kind of fun. Matt is going into a video rental store, and he's talking to this guy. He's like, do you have any Jackie Chan movies? Like, somebody came in a couple of days ago and rented out every Kung Fu movie that we had. And like, oh, that's her coming in. And it was Maya. And he doesn't want her to see him right now. With all the bandages, she's bound to make the connection. She'll know Matt Murdock is Daredevil. But this is funny, because if you recognize this guy, that's Randall from Clerks, Kevin Smith movie. Kevin Smith did the previous story on Daredevil. So he's in a Quick Stop or RS Video, what is it called? So that's just a fun little gag. So he runs in the back. He's running into the adult section, and he's hiding from her. And let's see. He's just kind of thinking to himself, why is she after me? Why does she think I killed her father? Whatever. And then he picks up a video that he had knocked over going in there, and he feels it, and he realizes that Karen Page, who's in the Daredevil TV show and all that, in the comics at one point she became addicted to drugs and became a porn star. She got AIDS, I think. Or is that a trick? I can't remember. Either way, he picks up a picture of a porn video that she was in, Devil in something. And he's, kind of has like, oh my God, my dead girlfriend, because she's dead now. And then this looks like Dante, Dante and Randall from Clerks. He's like, that guy's been in the adult section an awful long time. He's like, he's already blind. You'd think he'd have learned his lesson by jerking off too much. Maybe he should jerk off instead of like getting romantically involved in all these people who want to kill him. You know what I mean? So, we're going to court. Foggy's in court. He's got all this evidence. But what he really needs is the witness. It's this guy from the beginning, and it's this weird thing where they were twins. Oh God. This guy, but it's his twin. This guy was killed, but he has a twin who actually knows what's going on. So they're looking for that one guy. He's the character witness. Something to do with that. But he's not showing up. So he's hoping Daredevil will track down their one witness. So Foggy's doing his best. He's going through over all the evidence he has. We know about these two guys that you sent to kill him, that they fought in the very first episode, which were ironically also twins, these guys. And that, they used his phone, they called you, blah, blah, blah. It's just, but his mom, being a good lawyer also, is just like knocking down any argument that he has. And so Judge, whoever, she, funny old woman here, making him rephrase his questions. He's just like not having a good time. They have an answer for everything, a reason or an excuse or an alibi for everything. So, they're just objecting. He's doing the best he can, but he's like, everything will become clear as soon as my witness comes in. And they're like, well, where is he? And he's like, come on, Matt, come through. So Daredevil's looking for him. Going to bars and taverns, just beating the fuck out of people, trying to get information. And while we go through this, like, they throw in this like subplot of some more characterization of the Kingpin and Wilson Fisk, and stuff that happened to him as a kid and how he became Kingpin and some of the experiences he's had to go through. It's interesting enough. David Mack, he talks about in like the beginning, made a little note of how his dad's name was Wilson, and he introduced, like, Daredevil was his introduction through comics, so he's always like Kingpin. Him and his brother called their dad Kingpin, and a lot of the stuff that they're, like, the story elements are stuff from his childhood, from David Mack's own childhood and his memories from his dad. I don't know how accurate, like, I don't think his dad was a mobster or anything like that. But going through some Kingpin backstories, it's all very interesting, but nothing that's totally, like necessary for the story of Daredevil and Echo. This is fucked up, when you get the power, he's shaking this guy's hand, but he fucking rips his arm off. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's fucked up. So, going back, and Daredevil's still trying to find stuff. He's hanging people upside down, doing a whole Batman thing, just trying to get things while the court is still going on. Foggy's mom is, again, good lawyer. She's just doing a good job representing Kingpin. Has all this evidence about why Kingpin is innocent, all that kind of stuff. So the judge eventually dismisses the case, and he's set free, and Foggy is just pissed, and he's just like, he made it this way. He arranged himself. He hired a psychopath so he wouldn't implicate himself. And so they're like, you're out of order. And so basically Kingpin, like always, he gets out of it, and he won this day. So the press is there. They're waiting for him out of court. They're trying to talk to him, and he's being like, I'm an upstanding citizen, blah, blah, blah. So he gets into a limo and he fucks off. So they're driving on the bridge, and he's talking to his driver. And it's like, I'm taking that Larry situation's taken care of. Larry's the guy, the witness they had. But he kind of mumbles. He's like, what did you say? And it showed back in the other issues that these two twins and this guy, like, they kind of mumble. You don't understand what she says. Is she not Larry right here? And he said, translate. I said, no, Larry's right here. Larry right here? Whatever. So Daredevil couldn't find him because he was hiding. And now he's pissed. You shouldn't have killed my brother. You shouldn't have killed my brother. Right? You shouldn't have killed my brother, which they did. So he has a gun, and Kingpin kind of smiles because Kingpin ain't no slouch. He a badass. And they must be stopped. Yeah, they're stopped with traffic. You hear the gunshots, and then this guy's thrown out. His toupee goes flying out. And then he crashes. Were they moving? Either way, it doesn't matter. And he's like, oh, shit. And there's like he got shot a couple of times there, but there's Kingpin, and he's big, and he's badass, right? You've seen in his past stuff. This guy just unloads on him. And it hits him several times, and Daredevil's suddenly there somehow. How did Daredevil know? I don't know. He's there. And he's like, no, don't do it. Don't throw away your life. And this guy, Larry, he shoots one more time, blam, hits Kingpin. He stumbles back, and he falls off the bridge and into the whatever river it is, the Hudson River in New York, somewhere. So there it is, the end of Kingpin, right? That's fucked up. That's crazy. He's like, Larry, give me the gun. He's like, here you go. And his speech impediment is gone suddenly. He's like, I only have it when I'm nervous. And he did what he needed to do. He's not nervous. And, guy takes a picture back here. What? Good thing it's not Peter Parker for the Daily Bugle. But it takes a picture. It sees that Daredevil holding this gun, and it says Wilson Fisk shot. He's gunned down, and it's all over the news. Fucking Echo, she sees that, and she thinks that Kingpin is a good guy. He's the guy who raised her after her dad died. So now she thinks not only did Daredevil kill her dad, but he killed the Kingpin. Fuck Daredevil. Come on, dude. So end of the issue. Cool shot. It must be Quesada, right? I mean, it says it right there, clear as day. I thought David Mack did all the covers, though. Oh, well. All right, next issue. So, Matt and Maya meet. And she, again, he knows her and what she, they were fighting, but she doesn't know that he's Daredevil. She just knows as Matt. And she has the hots for him. So she has them come back to the same park that they fought at. And I guess it's the same park. You can see like this little kid drawing style of her memories, of her dad. Has little X's in his eyes because he's dead. But, pushing her on the swing. Talking about her dad used to bring her to this park. So it's kind of special to her. And she's basically saying she's learning to be happy with him, but she has to take care of some business first before they can really be together. She doesn't notice his fucked up face, I guess. I mean, it's not as fucked up. I wonder how much time was spent. So she's like, after I take care of it, I'll call you. But, she doesn't call because she's deaf, so that doesn't make sense. But, same deal. She's like, I hope you'll be around. She gives him a kiss, and she leaves, and he's just left with an empty swing. He's like, sad. It's like, what the fuck do I do? So talking about, Daredevil and his monologue and about how he was blinded, he has senses. I want to know, because it must say here, no, whatever. It goes back to, I like this transition here with the swing and the chains, right? And it gets closer up on the chains. And then the chain transition into a chain of a punching bag that he's punching. So that's kind of cool. It's going back and forth between these news reports. And somehow, since he died, it's been established that he is the kingpin of crime. Charitable philanthropist or kingpin of crime. I don't know. But somehow I was kind of confused because Daredevil or Matt, he gives all these files, all the dirt from the cops to cardinals to the other families to private industry to senators. I turn over the rest of the Kingpin's files to Foggy. How to get these files? I must have missed somewhere back here. But Foggy has all the files. And Foggy, he's a good lawyer, and he kicks some ass. He uses those files to get conviction after conviction after conviction. It's just going over a montage of him in court and putting these people away that were tied to the Kingpin somehow. And they're just talking about what a big deal Foggy is and how much ass he's kicking and that he should maybe run for district attorney. And the team of Nelson and Murdoch is a huge success. Matt Murdoch should be happy, but he's not because he has to deal with this fucking Echo situation. So here we have Daredevil, and he's joined by Black Widow because they used to bone on a cool shot of the city. They're on a rooftop looking up. That's some cool perspective. And so she comes to him because she wants to give him a reach around, but he's basically, I've been through a lot. Had a lot on my mind. She's like, it's a woman, isn't it? I like the shading that Joe Quesada can do, on her face there, on their faces in the corner. Sorry for that glare. Joe Quesada's a damn good artist. But then it shows somebody reaching in, and it's Echo because she has her hands bandaged up, getting the sniper rifle, and they're still talking. But he's he hears it as Echo is pointing at Daredevil. Now she's pointing at Natasha, or does he move because he looks and hears the sound of her shooting or something? Either way, she ends up hitting Black Widow and keeps shooting, and they're pinned down over here. But it's not a shot. It's an anesthetic or poison. Needs to get to her hospital. He hears her drop the gun, so he knows his chances now. He's not going to be shot. But fuck, there she is suddenly. That's a cool thing. That's a, wee. So the art suddenly changes here. Joe Quesada isn't drawing anymore, and it is David Ross. I'm not familiar with him. Not too bad, but he's not, I enjoy Quesada's art a little bit more. So I wasn't as invested in these. So they're starting to fight, right? Daredevil and Maya again. Doesn't want to hurt her, but, doesn't have time to make her understand. Has to get her, Black Widow, to the hospital because she's got some poison. So he gets this idea, and he takes her body and just crashes through the skylight into this warehouse or building or whatever where there's no lights or anything. So Echo, she's deaf and she can see, but now she's blind in the darkness. Daredevil, he's always blind, so he can hear. So he has a tremendous advantage over her. She's trying to do the best. She's shooting kind of wildly and randomly, but he's worried that one shot could hit Black Widow, so he takes out the gun, and he's doing his best to take her out without hurting her, and he's doing a damn good job of it because he's fucking Daredevil, hitting nerve centers and all that, tripping her up. Now she's no threat because she can't see or hear him. So he kind of takes her out and picks up Black Widow and gets away. Crashes through a glass. Did you think that would hurt? I don't know. Break the window first with your billy club or something. So she's now goes to her inner monologue, and she's like kind of pissed off at herself, and she's like, oh, the darkness, like complete blackness, like she was blind. She felt helpless. So she's just kind of sitting here all night till the sun comes up, kind of thinking about what to do. And then she talked about how finding Daredevil is like a needle in a haystack, and the best way to do that is to burn the haystack. So she gets something. She lights a fire at the playground with Daredevil's insignia. And he knows it's her. He took care of Black Widow. She wants him to take care of her a little bit more, if you know what I mean. But he's got duties. So he has to go handle this situation. She's just waiting. She pulled a Dutch in Predator, just lighting the fire and waiting for him to come to her. Then it cuts to some shit in the sewer and some rats, and this hand comes out, and there's Kingpin. He didn't die like we didn't think he would. So he's alive. So, next issue, Daredevil going to meet up to confront Maya and Echo. And the fire's fucking with his other senses, so it's kind of roles reversed a little bit. And she gets a drop on him. So they start fighting, and it's going back and forth with this inner monologue of Wilson Fisk and Kingpin. And again, he starts to talk about some of his childhood. It's all very interesting, but nothing that I want to really get into. Talk about his mom and dad and their relationship. The artist exaggerates some stuff because it's a flashback sequence, from the perspective of a child. That's how it feels to him. That's kind of all interesting. Talks about his dad was a hard worker. He had big shoes to fill. He has huge shoes. Didn't he kill his dad? I think he did. Anyways, going back to the fight, Maya, she still want to fuck up Daredevil. Doing a good job of it. Again, him as a kid, he has this hammer. Oh, God, just all metaphor and whatever. Back to them fighting. Back to childhood shit. And I guess he He's killed people with a hammer. I don't know. Him as a kid being bullied, fucks up these bullies they run. He makes a name for himself. People are scared of him. He gets smarter. He learns that through intimidation and everything, he can get his way back to the fighting. And this is finally, she clocks him across the face and opens up this wound that she knows that he has, right? And he finally is close enough just to grab her and hold her. And he says, I smother her movements by holding her close. So he just grabs her and holds on to her. And her scent envelops me, and I can't help but remember last time I held her like this and they were kissing and being, falling in love. And she finally sees and realizes, she sees the blood, the wound on his cheek, and she fucking figures it out. Your blood, it's like a question mark. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it fucking hurts and quit hitting me. So she fucking figures it out. She's like, Matt. And he's like, you're finally reading my lips. Jesus Christ. And I was like, I couldn't have killed your father. I was in elementary school when he was killed. Couldn't you have fucking seen that from me? I'm not an old man who killed somebody. I would have been younger. So she stops. She realized he's Daredevil. She's the guy that she had feelings for. And then in her heart, she fucking figures out everything with the Kingpin. He set her up. He set all this up. He lied to her. She fucking takes off. More stuff about the Kingpin. More stuff about his past. He's a little bit older. He's bald now. He's taking out people. He's strong. He's fierce. He's fucking ruthless. And then Maya, she comes in. She finds where he is in this gym that she trains at, or this boxing ring, and he's like, we have to talk. And she says, I know you killed my father. And he's trying to we have to work together, we need each other, I made you what you are, don't forget that, promise me. She says, I promise. She has that gun that was used to kill her dad, and she fucking shoots. And there you see him lying in that ring with her bloody footprints leaving. And so, I don't know, more stuff about talking about the guy who first attacked and killed the witness in the very first issue. And Foggy put him away without parole, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And so Black Widow, she's talking to him. She's like, are we going to fuck or not? He's like, no, I'm too sad. She's like, fine, I'm out of here. And then as they're leaving the hospital, they're the paramedics and doctors are bringing in another body, multiple gunshots, one in the head. And they're wondering, can we save him? It's like, I don't know. We might be able to restore his, and it cuts off. Matt, he's, playing the piano, because that's what he was doing earlier. That's something that he shared with her. And he's basically just thinking about their time and just being very sad, because Daredevil and superheroes don't get to be happy. And he's wondering, will I ever see her or smell her again? Or will she remain an echo? And you can see, plane taking off. She's on that plane. And then it cuts to Kingpin. And he was shot in the face, shot in the eyes. He's blind now. And that was a plot point, I guess. That happened at the end of Hawkeye, right? Echo shot Kingpin in the face. Pardon me. And now that's what her show is following up on. I remember seeing shots of Kingpin with one bandage over the eye. So maybe I'll get to watch that at some point. Pardon me, sorry. So now there's this other story. I'm not gonna go over it, but it was they put this collection together, but this one issue was set between parts 3 and 4, and was commissioned as the fill-in storyline. But they took it out because they didn't want to interrupt the flow of this story. So they have it here. And it's written by Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti, Rob Haynes on art, David Self colors. And it's basically just more on the fight that they were having at that time. But then it goes back and forth with some of these other stories from these random civilians and characters. You know, fight, stuff with these other people. I can't remember what the point of any of it was. It's not really necessary. Everything is sure an interesting comic, but these are all people, I don't know, that were around this fight when it happened. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? David Mack sketchbook, character designs, photo reference, layout sketches. You can see like he did some of these layouts for Joe Quesada. And ads, and that's it. So, David Mack, good writer. Joe Quesada, great artist. This is an interesting storyline. Echo's first appearance. So, what do you guys think? Do you like the character of Echo? Did you watch her show? Was it any good? Or is it just more Marvel stuff that we don't need? I don't know. I like Marvel, even the stuff they're doing lately. They could definitely do less of certain things and put more quality into the stuff that is important. But I don't mind. There's an Echo TV series. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's the worst. Why are they so stupid? You know, if it sucks, it sucks. What are you going to do? But maybe it'll be good. Anyways, but here's the comic. Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts? Love to hear it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.